Welcome back, ladies, gents, and non-binaries to Talent League, but it is in a much different format as we do have our Titan series starting up for you. Today, we have our major minor league competition coming up to clash with each other since we don't see them too much often in a regular season coming up against each other. This is the first time that we have them clashing. It's Laburnum versus Invictum, second place team in the major league versus the fifth place team in the minor league. And well, it's clear that Laburnum are the favorites, but once we get into the lobby, who knows what'll happen. It's 1B, that's me, and my co-caster here, Tyrell. How are you feeling today, Tyrell?
Oh, I'm feeling just goddamn dandy. So far, I managed to have a conflict with my mother in the morning and didn't completely ruin my day, so that is a success for once. But hey, things gotta move on, and unfortunately, for anyone who's wondering where the hell Pyro is, I ate him. Yeah, just so you know. I may be puking him out laterwards, so you hopefully will be come back, but worst case, you just gotta have to deal with me. But either way, it's going to be definitely an exciting day, and it's going to be an exciting match to kick off, let's say, the week as well, because I believe this is our first match of this week.
Yeah, it's the first match of the Titan League series, and I mean, I'm excited for it too. It's like, even if it's like an underdog versus what is clearly a top dog story, first game of the Titan League series of, season 2, and who knows what type of storylines will be created. Now, as I've said, it is going to be Laburnum versus Invictum. And before we get into the map bans, and before we tell you guys what maps we're playing on, I want to bring your attention to the community vote. Obviously, I said that Laburnum are clear favorites, and that was indicative of the community vote that we have here. 60.9% of you guys think that Laburnum will win today, whereas 39.1% of you think that Invictum will win. So while Laburnum are the clear favorites, clearly Team Invictum do have some fans who are not only showing up in the community poll, but also who are probably going to be watching these two teams clash together today.
Well, either way, one thing for sure, now we got that out of the way, we can tell you what maps are going to be played, and well, it's gonna be the map that I so ever and dearly hate, because it's been so many goddamn times. It is, of course, Oregon. We're gonna kick off things with Oregon and then move on later to Chalet. And if these two teams decide that we still need to do it, then we're gonna move on to Clubhouse. It's gonna be a map decided for this series, but as we're ready to get prepared for Oregon, we're just checking in onto the lobby. I'd say, well, we pretty much have everyone in the lobby. We just need to make sure a lovely dear friend Trippin on the observing side and production side knows how to use a keyboard. If not, I will recommend him one of these things. They call controllers. They can also do magical things. If you program them even right, they can even run down your lights as well. Just like dimmable. This one is an Xbox Elite Series 2, since I got the first one back then.
I got
and
this
it was
one.
like, oh,
it's
snazzy.
One, isn't it? It is. I like it.
It's nice. I was wondering to get like a scuff impact, but it was like, right, I seen this one on the store. I was like, right, since I had the first, like, technically nothing should go wrong with like the second version pretty much. So I'm on the safe side with this. But if I would have ordered the scuff and it wouldn't have worked, then well, screw me. But well, no, guys, this is PC. This is not PS4 or Xbox League. Nope. This hasn't been yet. Hasn't been yet. Although we did see a few controller players who were banging. Those were I really can't remember because I'm suffering from Alzheimer or dementia or old memory loss. Yeah, what's it called?
No, you got it. I think the dementia is mainly for older people, but I'm pretty sure younger people probably experience as well. But as the lobby isn't ready, we will be. Okay, both teams are ready. Sorry, but so we will go into our first map of Oregon. And you said it. Oregon is a very what is known from the community, what everybody will describe as a very boring map. Even after its rework, I actually really do like this map after its rework. But I do think that it is a bit overplayed, especially in lower tier leagues such as Talent League. Because if you look at the stats, at least for both the major and minor leagues this season, Oregon is among the most played map. If it's not among the most, then it is the most played map because these. Teams just do not like straying from the norm in lower tier leagues, whether it be EU, NA, or APAC. It doesn't really matter.
You make us sound like we have bad competition.
No, that's not true.
But to be true, like, I think I've discussed it previously a bit with a few members. So far, Talent League is right now in its, it's gonna go in its 8th season?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in its 8th season, we got now the second Titan series up on the way, mid-season tournaments, all that kind of bunch. So considering how some other, let's say, competitions fared, we're still standing and better than ever. Yeah. So, hey, would you look at this? And given the thing, I'm still around, which is probably a bad thing. Survived all too long, but at least we're gonna be able to tell you on which operator not gonna survive up on this match, because we obviously have Manface, and so far Flores, Hibana, and Mirror are out. And joining this pair will be Clash, which you definitely can shed some light on this one, because I haven't seen a Clash really played at all, and even one banned.
No, that's a very confusing ban for me. I'm not too sure what I can shed on that. Whether Team Invictum has faced a clash in the minor leagues, and it's just an operator that they just do not like, they don't want to come into contact with, is it's pretty fair that they want to ban it. But with Kaid open, that clash is kind of a weird priority to take over the Kaid, considering how powerful he is in denying hatches. And now with Thatcher on the board, I feel like you need the Kaid more than ever, because he can help deny hatches. Like I said, he can also help Kaid trip walls from a distance. And if the Thatcher is on the board, he can if the Thatcher is on the board without the Kaid, he's made even more powerful with that fact. So Clash is a weird ban over the Kaid. Mira is a little bit more basic, just because of the amount of line of sights that she can create, not only on the basement site, but also on the second floor as well, especially if you're looking to do some sort of attic hold, or even a hold towards the B-bomb side of kids. Amira is very, very powerful with that, but other than that, the bans are pretty fine, apart from the Clash.
Yeah, just to throw you back into irrelevancy, like, since Thatcher has been picked off and Kaid, well, there goes all of your talk on those two.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I'm someone who loves him, despite, growing up hating him and stuff like this, because it's just the overuse, but it's, I don't know how to describe it really, but like, after some time, you just start to appreciate him. It's a bit like, it's like when Call of Duty Ghosts came out, pretty much like this. Everyone hated it, shit like this. And now, I'm pretty sure I can speak for a good chunk for the community. They would actually rather prefer to see Ghosts back and play, but that's pretty much like Thatcher. He has a bit of this, oh, we think this card is shit, but it's sort of like, then in the end, you start to, get to love it and get to appreciate it actually for what it is. But either way, the appreciations are soon going to be ending, because with drones are going to get shot out, and already the first few shots are fired. HP bars are dropping down as well, but not quite to the 0 yet. Hedgehog and these are getting a little bit of taste on what lead feels like in their bodies.
Laburnum are running into a lot of utility, and that's not only indicative of what's in front of our screens right now with these zombie barriers plus the Goyo canisters that last about 15 seconds, by the way. I'm not gonna stop mentioning that. Or not 15, sorry, 20 seconds, which is even worse. They last for a god awful amount of time, and Laburnum are running into that amount of utility, but P13 is running into bodies, and he's found 2 opening kills for Laburnum, putting them in a handy dandy lead.
You know what? Screw P13. He's a pie. Let's call him a pie.
What?
I mean, clearly that's why the numbers are there for. It also rolls up better from the time. Just as these shots roll out of the barrel from Deza, he's gonna find 2 Deadpool, and Pie will go down, but Spills gets him. Kill at least. try to put balance back into the side of a Laburnum as Lucan will fall, leaving Newsy, and these are the only ones left right now for Team Invictum. Shots are gonna get fired, people's gonna be falling, Laburnum losing more. Kinkayo and Spills are out, and it's all down to Hunter to make this one happening for Laburnum. The shots are gonna get through, not gonna quite catch him though, but Hunter visibly a bit in a stressy situation. He's gonna get shot from 2, and there you go. Newsy will clean this one up, and Team Invictum take the first round of the day.
Strong round from Deza, I might add. I mean, the main reason for Laburnum losing that round was due to that 2K flank from Deza up the main stairs. No flank drone, nothing to cover that flank, and Laburnum paid for it. But also, the amount of util that Team Invictum had to slow Laburnum down, especially in the early stages of that round. You think of the Goyo canisters, you think of the Azami shields that are rechargeable. She gets 5 in total, she gets 2 in the prep phase, 3 in the round as they recharge. And now, with the Azami barriers, you have to spend a lot of utility bringing it down, or you have to spend some utility in bringing it down. It only takes like 1 breaching round, a Gon 6, a grenade to break it down. But if you don't have any of those, then you have to hit it 3 times, which can cause you to waste a lot of time. And then you combine that with the Goyo canisters, and there's a lot of utility that Laburnum have to clear. But again, that's not the reason why they lost that round. Deza getting a 3K, not necessarily from that flank. He got 2 from the flank, and then he maneuvered himself back into sight to find himself the 3rd, and he really pulled that round for Team Invictum because it was slowly plummeting in the ground, especially after that early 2K that we saw from P13 on the Twitch.
Well, no spawn peaks as of yet, as Tower, well, quite very dangerous spot in there, but yeah. So far right now, Laburnum on the safe side right there. Drones are scouting ahead onto the way, and well, I believe if Kinkayo drones right, he's soon gonna be able to find out that there is someone from Invictum that's gonna make their lives a bit more difficult, but we already see some bit of window work right there, a little bit of angle, shots are gonna be flying, and Spills will find headshot. As the 1 mile will go down, but still there is an Aruni upstairs, and well, Lucan decided to definitely run away from this one very quickly.
It's a very unfortunate grenade to take out his teammate's drone, and so that leaves Laburnum a drone down. But they do have that man advantage, plus the Finka is still standing after getting that opening kill split. Getting that opening kill on the Finka, taking one off for Team Invictum, and now they're left looking a bit scrambled, especially on that 2nd floor, which they do exist, but maybe not no longer, as Deza is swiftly taken care of by King K. Yo. 5v3 now turns into a 5v2 as Hunter finds the 3rd, and Team Invictum just keep running into these bullets. They keep taking these head-on gunfights in desperation of finding a trade, and it's to their downfall. But Lucan 1v5 turns into a 1v3. He finds the fuser on rear stage stairs. Can he find himself 3 more shots spraying towards him as he's being pushed? Finds himself a 3rd headshot. Laburnum, diffuser surrendered. Now knowing what the last player is, these last 2 players, they have to work together, and they have to pinch Lucan at the same time, maybe playing for a trade. But they're both in the same area, pushing him at the same time from the bottom of the stairs. They don't even push together. What the hell is going on? P13 finds the ender, but Laburnum, what the hell was that?
Nearly getting the clutch as well. Nearly replicating the success from the first round from Invictum. You man down, you're in a disadvantage, but completely bounce back. I mean, like, Lucan absolutely madness, just getting 4, like, didn't quite make it down to 5 because that FAMAS is still way too strong, but I mean, that would have been a shocker. But again, like, look, the diffuser is right at Lucan. There is nothing that Laburnum can do because, you know, usually would have said like, just take it, plan it, and then force Lucan to pretty much join you like in 45 seconds. But that loss with the diffuser on the stairs, I mean, credit. I mean, I really think Invictum should have won that. I mean, that had it completely bad because Lucan did everything right, but then again, At the end, it's still a shooter, and sometimes just the guns come at us. But greatly played by Lucan. I'm just gonna highlight that out here one more time. But now it's gonna be crucial for Invictum this time to not gonna go down and complete a like 1 versus 5 situation right from the get-go. But let's see on how they're gonna. Let's see, maybe they do a few things yet more differently, and maybe decide to hang back a tad. Not just not get yourself peaked so easily.
Yeah, because you saw that, like, right? They were being very aggressive, especially, it intensified after they lost their first mana, where they were desperately trying to get a body back from Laburnum, but every time, it was like, it was one by one. They didn't necessarily try and, like, swing as a team in that round. They were all just solo pushing, desperately trying to find a way back into that round, which is what you don't necessarily want to do, especially against the stronger weapons of the attackers. Again, that was almost a very good round from Lucan as well. Laburnum almost threw that, just due to some unfortunate circumstances. Solo pushing the last player, giving him his ones, is not ideal, especially when you have a 1v5 situation. And Laburnum, they're glad that P13 has those clutch genes, because if not, if that shot would have missed with the FAMAS by just a little centimeter, he would have been gone. But I mean, I'll tell you who's gone. Nosy.
Well, you could say he made an explosive ending to his fairy tale, but with that being said, Hunter getting successfully the nade kill once more on the Nosy, leaving a Team Invictum again in the man disadvantage. But you know, so far I feel like, you know, Invictum can be in a man disadvantage, but they bounce back in such a way that they just managed. I mean, incredible. But we'll have to wait and see. You know, maybe it was a fluke. Not, but I would just tell right now in this round, KO opening up the hatch, making sure that blowtorch is gonna give them good use. And well, would you look at this? The FAMAS strikes again. Pi takes out Visa, leaving Invictum once more again with another person left. But look at this, King fights back. He's gonna get Hunter. Kaio gets a nade kill onto King immediately right there to bounce back. Lucan will find one as Pi will find Lucan, leaving it all down to Hedgehog. It's now your time to shine. 1 versus 3. Can they do it with less than 45 seconds left? The plant is gonna go down. That's gonna be by the hands of KO, but that means it's gonna be now again 45 seconds. Hedgehog still battling it out. Not gonna be able to quite land his shots right there. Prefer has a bit much out right there in hopes to get something successful, but now using the line of sight. He's gonna go through. He will find Pi. He's gonna check the other side as well. And it looks clear to him for right now, but he needs to find Deadpool and KO and get that defuse going. There's not gonna be much time. He's gonna now round on into right in the angles right there. And there you go, KO. Just having to hold the doorway and secure himself and his team another round.
It was a lot cleaner from Laburnum that last time out. Very clean, taken to the laundry site itself, getting the picks that they need, got the plant down, and then despite one player going down in that 1v3 situation, they had good enough post plant positioning in order to cut off the rotation. The last player of Invictum as trying to make his way onto the site. The next site that we are going to see is going to be the tertiary site choice for Team Invictum, and that is meeting Hall Kitchen. They first went to Kids, then they went to Basement, and they lost it twice in a row, and they're just like, okay, screw this, let's go to, well, it's not necessarily considered an offsite, but it can be, depending on which stage of the game do you pick it. If you pick it in the primary, if you pick it as a secondary, or if you pick it as a tertiary option. For Team Invictum, it is going to be the third for them. Now, with the way that I saw Meeting Hall Kitchen play last time in the Champion Series, and this, I can't remember who it was against. I remembered it. Maestria versus Praetorian. And I remember they did like a really funky strat where they had the whole of the rear stage wall open, and this was for Maestria, by the way. They had the whole of the rear stage wall open, and they were heavily holding onto big tower stuff. And it was an interesting strat. I don't see Team Invictum doing anything like that today. It seems to be more of your default hold where they're holding on to the second floor, and they're also going to be reinforcing that meeting the wall. So this gives Laburnum easy control of big tower if nobody from Team Invictum is camped up in here.
I mean, if the explosion in that big tower didn't already say, like, hey, there's someone playing up there, then God knows what will. Hedgehog right there. He has an ADS to still cover himself up from nades for the time being, but as soon as you burn him out, we all know that's just not going to happen anymore. But Hedgehog still holding there valiantly. So I believe Pi has aborted the mission to take over the tower. That leaves them pretty much... Well, that leaves the side from Laburnum just on a one-way direction, really. It's just like one-sided.
Looks like they're going over towards the lobby area, which is a very unorthodox take. They're gonna rush through this meeting hall double door with Spliss prepping the Gon 6. Utility is gonna stand in their way in the form of a mute jammer, as Utility does go out from Laburnum itself in order to get this meeting hall wall panel. Now, Team Invictum do have some players set up in the L hallway towards the bottom of those right stairs in order to come to the flank, and that is Lucan on that flank. And he gets one, and that's the Ulsa, or not the Ulsa, sorry, that's Spliss down. Now it's the Ulsa down. Hunter finding a fight back 3v4, but in favor of Invictum, now with 4v2, and it's only P13. Okay, now it's only P13 by himself in the 1v4 situation. That push, that unorthodox push from the lobby area, falling away from Laburnum's hands so quickly.
Shotgun is gonna put down and hand to Pi right there, but I really want to highlight out Nosy for being that ballsy just to walk through that says and be like, I have no clue what's on the other side of this one. And just straight going for it, but doesn't matter. The rest of this team managed to pick up the pace and managed to clean out the rest of Laburnum. And well, would you look at this? A 2-2. So clearly, Team Invictum, they're definitely capable of winning. Just like, I would say just Laundry so far has failed them, but we're just going to have to wait and see if they're going to be able to win again once more on kids and dorms. And, well, we're just going to see on this one. But generally, at least from my personal point of view, like, defense is, especially like on Oregon, I would still say it's the more favorable side, where you get usually the most rounds in. So, Laburnum already having 1-2 attacks stays pretty well. It's not too bad, but obviously not good really either. So.
Yeah, you could argue the same thing for Invictum. I'm pretty sure what they want to do is have a 4-2 lead as they head on to their attack, just to have some working room as they try and win some rounds in their attacks, because as you've mentioned, attack is the least favorite side on Oregon. It doesn't have that good of a win rate, despite Siege being in an attacking meta right now. Oregon is still one of the more defender-sided maps alongside Clubhouse. So, yeah, Team Invictum do want to get that 4-2 split. At worst, they'll get a 3-3 if that's what they want. At worst, they'll get a 3-3, which is probably what's going to happen considering how competitive this round has been. But that's
good night, sleep tight. Good night, sleep tight, as Pi is gonna be put right into the bet on this one. Spam peaks from these, they're gonna be successfully connecting, giving Invictum, finally, I would say, for once, the man advantage. Like, they got the early pick, which is, well, all things considered, be quite amazing. But look at this, these are again right now being a menace, taking out Spurs as well. The Nook goes out, leaving Deadpool, Kaio, and Hunter the only three left for the side of Laburnum.
Yeah, that's the first time in 5 rounds where we've seen Invictum actually get the first pick, because usually there is some early aggression from Invictum that's easily shut down from Laburnum, barring what happened in the first round, because that happened when there was like 1:40 left on the clock and Pi got those 2 opening picks. Now, 5v3 advantage per Team Invictum. Deza is on a roll, 6-2 alongside Lucan, who is 6-4. So both of those 2 players are teaming up on the frag department. Not really teaming up on the map, because that's mainly Deza and Nuzi who are still partnered together on this first floor. Deza's getting droned out, and Shower's also getting solo push from Hunter on the Ayano, who pushes himself into an unfavorable line of sight and gets swiftly taken care of. But alongside that, Nuzi finds himself down and out for the count. So that leaves Deza all by himself on this first floor. But Laburnum, a 4v2 man disadvantage. They can't spend all too long hunting Deza on this first floor and trying to hunt for these kills, especially now that it's a 1v4 with 50 seconds to go.
Well, Deadpool, you're gonna have your work cut out right there, because 1v4 in 40 seconds, well, fortune favors the bold, but so far Deadpool will not really be able to contribute all too much with the side of Laburnum, because that guy still says on a big fat 0 after 5 rounds. And, well, you would have expected to see a bit more right there, but kill it. Yeah, sweetheart, I don't know what you're trying to open, but like, or you think where the side is, but let me tell you, it's not here. It's 100% not here, and you're such out of time, you might as well try to save KD. Well, at least he's gonna be able to get rid of that 0. He's gonna find Deza, but smoke gunners are gonna come out, and well, I guess there's no stoppage right there from the shotgun of Lucan, as he will be able to take him out right there, here and there, and Laburnum losing this one, and Team Invictum getting once more again Kid Storms, and well, here comes now the big tiebreaker for this one. Laundry and Supply lost twice. Will it be 3 times? Will he be able to overturn this one?
At worst, again, Invictum at worst can grab a 3-3 split. At best, they can get a 4-2, have some leniency on their attacks, and have some comfort to work in knowing that they have a lead on their attacks. And what's not to say that they can't like win it on their attacks, or whatever the case may be. Well, statistics, because this is a defender-sided map according to the statistics. But Invictum going to the same site that they lost twice in a row. I don't know. Kids is open. They won it in the very first round. Maybe not in the most convincing way. But on both sides of the basement, despite that...
Hey, sweetheart. We just played Kids and they won.
Oh, my fault. My fault. I thought Kids was open. Oops. Sorry, I had a brain fart.
When we're talking about outside and dementia, well, there you go. Straight away, Wumbi is one prime example for having one of those two.
My fault. I meant, you know what? I meant Meeting Hall Kitchen, because they lost this site basement 2 times in a row. And let's not forget, while Lucan did almost have that 1v5 clutch, that was almost a sweep from Laburnum had they not give Lucan his ones. And then around after that, it was just a really nice swift line of execute from Laburnum. And it's a curious site for Invictum to go in, considering the fact that it's clearly not in their favor to go there according to what we've seen so far. Meeting Hall Kitchen is open, a site that they've won, and they played better than Basement, in fact.
Well, I'm not sure if my brain is calculating, but I'm not quite sure if Meeting was still open, but nah, let's just roll with this. I'm not quite sure, but either way, as we're just gonna have to wait and see on how this one's gonna pan out. But so far, Invictum not losing any major forces right now in the beginning. The only thing I'm more worried about is like none of them are like moving around in anywhere. Like I see no action tower, I see no action in Meeting, obviously giving complete control of anything to the side of Laburnum, and I'm not sure if turtling it out is going to be the best option for the side of Invictum, but I mean, as long as they able to sort of disrupt Laburnum on making major process, then I guess it can be worked. But with a minute 30 and, well, let's be honest, with the majority already in their control and hands, like, they have a lot of time to play now.
Wondering where, okay, there it goes. I was wondering where he was, because he was one of the first players from Invictum on the first floor, but then, like you said, he retreated along with the rest of the team Invictum. He gets that first pick by Pillars, and I guess this is the advantage with turtling. Since Laburnum are running a bit low on time, they're gonna start peeking things that they probably shouldn't, and in that case, Hunter peeks Pillars without really clearing or having anybody use their utility in support of pushing Pillars. And so that is the first blood on the board for Team Invictum, as Laburnum, they're running low on time. They have all of the control in the world, sure, but they have no man advantage. They have no picks. They have no way of getting into the site apart from Splizz, and I'm not too sure where that was. Hedgehog has found his demise. P13 still by bunker is going to get caught. Going to get caught into a turbine in the crossfire. And that's another word from Team Invictum. A 4v3 man advantage, 25 seconds left to go. Laburnum still don't have an advantage in this round. Splizz has found his position in Freezer, swiftly taken away by Newsy. Newsy looking to get a little bit more aggressive, looking, finding another, and this should be a round for Team Invictum, unless Deadpool can find his ones. No, he can't. He finds one, sure, but he doesn't get that kill. Lucan ends that round off, and it is a round for Team Invictum as they take the half 4-2.
Oh. Well, who would have thought? Team Invictum able to overturn their, I would say, their little issues on the side of Laundry, but it's going to be now time for them to go into the attack and for Laburnum to show them how the defense is going to be done, and Laburnum will kick us off straight immediately with kids and dorms. Let's see on how this is going to pan out, and so far, I'm seeing a frost, and, well, I would like to prepare myself for a few blunders and a few laughs along the way, but I'm doubting it a bit. But interestingly, King deciding to go from a farmer to a lion?
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
Oh.
I sense something quick, something decisive, and something explosive's gonna happen.
They're sacrificing their hard breacher in favor of the lion, an operator where it requires really good timing for him to work off, and also very good coordination. And if you don't have anybody to act on that information that the lion does provide, then the lion is a pretty useless pick. So Invictum have to have a good reason for sacrificing their sole hard breacher in favor of lion. Yes, they do have the buck, and yes, the buck does have 2 hard breach charges. But again, you're sacrificing your main hard breacher in the thermite, who, might I add, can make a really big effing hole in the wall over a lion based off of information. This isn't going to be the fastest push from Team Invictum, especially with the lion in play. Instead, they've swiftly taken map control, instead opting out for the first floor, making vertical holes on to this bunk's position that Deadpool is hiding out in.
I just find it cute that you said effing and just not fucking.
No,
because after all, this is the Terrell show. Since this game ain't PG-13, so ain't the language here, so feel fucking free to do so, because Kaya right now got absolutely demolished and screwed over right there. As King not gonna be able to find him, but Spills immediately got the refrag on him. Dazzle will find one with the grenade, and all things turn around. It looks like it's, shit's about flying everywhere. And shot's gonna get done. Diesel will find Hunter, leaving it all down to Pie, and that pool is gonna go find one. Is gonna go down as well. Newsy will find one. That pool goes down. Everything goes left, right, and center. I don't know where to go anymore. Pie is the only one left. As Lucan and Hedgehog are the only 2 left for the side of Invictum, and we still got a minute and 20 left, and everything almost gone. And there you go, Hedgehog will find one, and immediately starts off the first attack with a W.
Oh my god. I've seen so many people in Hedgehog's position lose that gunfight on the top of white when people swing from attic behind that bomb chastity onto that white angle that he was holding. And I see so many people lose it. And I had a flashback to one of the many Pro League matches that I watched. I can't remember which match it was, but I've seen so many people lose that gunfight that there's way too many. And I thought Pot was gonna win it. It was a very close one, especially with the diffuser surrendered outside big window. Team Invictum did have enough time to grab the diffuser as well. But again, had he isolated that gunfight against Hedgehog for Pie, that would have put Team Invictum in a world of hurt. But the one main negative that I have about that round, especially for Laburnum, is how easily they gave up map control. They were really passive inside of that round and not really doing enough to deny Invictum of getting control of the top of white. I don't really think they had a lot of utility to counter the push or really slow Team Invictum down. And also not really, again, just not really doing enough in order to deny the map control around the map from Laburnum. And that, in theory, that was a really passive hold. Probably a really passive hold or a really aggressive hold towards the master bedroom that left the other side of the map completely weak for them. Regardless, that was good intel work from Team Invictum to spot out the weakness towards Big Window and also the top of White Stairs in order to make that push work. They didn't get the plant down, but they got the kills that they need, and that's all that matters.
Right now, Lucan entering now the tower. And with that being said, tower is now in the control of Invictum. As now with 30 seconds gone, we already see, well, pretty much good advantages right there being made round up right there. As Lucan gonna take care of the camera, and well, 3P, it's now time to open the wall. And ooh, look at this. You got Kayo underneath, but turning around, just nearly avoiding shots. Gonna be hitting though, but oh my! Headshot getting destroyed, and Lucan falls as well. Everything now unravels. Invictum losing out full.
No. Okay. No. Absolutely not. Hedgehog should have won that gunfight initially, and I felt like Lucan shouldn't have done the second swing. I know he was looking for the quick trade, but instead you put yourself in an unfavorable position swinging the Ella while she was holding an angle against you, and there goes another one of the player, Newsy, trying to get an angle behind that shield, but instead gets angled on himself. Deadpool kills his own teammate with the Goyo canister, as the Goyo canister was popped to keep the remaining Team Invictum players back. Now it's King by himself in the 1v4 situation, as his last teammate just fell right in front of him. Now, again, 1v4 situation. That's to find 4 bodies. King is 4-4. Not the king of the lobby so far, but a good stat line for a support player as he's trying to put this out. Oh.
I'm really questioning this now. Either there was a cam, but if I wouldn't have known better, then sorry.
It was
well, repping apparently, but I honestly would have said right now, well, someone just turned on quickly the walls up. But we've seen the side of Invictum being a few men down in the clutch situation, but this is not one of them where they're gonna turn around. Laburnum will take this one, making the score, or at least trying to push further back on the score, making it a 3-5. Damn.
Just a very curious round from Team Invictum, especially on that big tower push. You had King KO.
I mean,
just
that completely just felt like there's no other words. That's where it fell. And the story is, boy.
Yep. Again, Hedgehog winning that, not losing that gunfight, really turned around in his head, and then KO taking out the Maverick, especially with Team Invictum heavily banking on a split take through Attic, and also the other take happening through Master Bedroom itself. It fell apart just as quickly as it began, and Laburnum take that round off of just amazing mechanical skills from KO. I don't want to take anything from it because I felt like that was really good from KO to get 2 kills with the Scorpion, by the way. That gun is kind of hard to control, and he just had the mechanics to pull that off. So good on him. But Laburnum, Meeting Hall Kitchen, tertiary site for them, and Team Invictum have to attack it again. I don't see anything too out of the ordinary like what I saw from Maestria against Praetorian. Maestria's strat on this was like really interesting, and I don't think it was a bad strat at all. I actually thought it was pretty good. It was something that kind of bogged with the mind. You don't see a lot of different strats on Oregon because of just how default of a map it is, especially when you're comparing it to Clubhouse, which is the most default map in the game. But Oregon comes in a close second. You have to do things in a certain way on your defenses and also on your attack to make it work. So I just thought I'd put that out there.
Go distract them.
Well, I'm gonna be curious on how the lovely Hedgehog is gonna turn out with the Nook in his hands. See what damage he's gonna be able to inflict, but so far right now, Nothing as of yet. We see a little bit of HP getting shut down on the Hedgehog, and well, that pretty much gotta get followed up by Pi taking him out, and well, there goes pretty much. You could say you ace up your sleeve, but then again, we still got an ace up on there, and he's not dead yet. So this time, hopefully, we're gonna get something breach, but look at this, Laburnum. Definitely keeping Lucan out of the sight. Definitely keeping him away from further advancing. A few shots gonna go through. So he tries to bait him out a little bit, but so far no advances. And that being said, Nuzi will find King KO, and there you go. Hunter will find Diesel, reducing it down to a 4 versus 3, and Hunter goes down. Nuzi will be the one that's gonna be picking off. Spills will find Lucan. Although it's falling one by one, it's not falling quite in the favor side of Invictum, as Pi will find Nuzi. Leaving it all down to King, as Laburnum is looking to make a comeback.
Ooh. Made easier, especially with them being. We said that with Oregon that the defender side is the easier side, technically according to statistics, as King is fighting for his life and Attic has so many angles working against him, and it is the angle from Trophy to catch him off guard. Laburnum grabbed that round, and now the gap is lowered or tightened up in separating both of his teams by 1 round as Laburnum pick the basement site. And yeah, Laburnum making a bit of a comeback. I mean, it is on their defense, but take nothing away from it. Laburnum do have good support staff, also some really good IGLing on their team. I can't remember who that is, but I know they have a good IGL on their team. They have some good leaders on that team, good experienced players.
They got some good people on that. I don't
Yeah,
know
they got some good
I
people
don't
on that
remember who, but they got some good.
I know, because
Yes.
I know they have a good IG. I just can't remember who it is.
So, yeah,
like,
that's pretty much like, this is how you prepare for a cast. Usually, like, we come up, we have no fucking clue about any players or whatever. If we know them, then we're lucky enough. But if not, there's like the first time we just gotta come up with some shit.
You gotta come over. I'll just say it's splits. How about that? I think it doesn't really matter who it is, but they have some good IGLing on their team. They have some good leadership and experience on this team in order to make comebacks like this happen, regardless of if it is on the defensive side of Oregon. They're doing it. Team Invictum, though, I mean, they're doing a good job of keeping themselves in the match, because remember, the community vote did not favor them. It was, in theory, not really a landslide, but Laburnum did dominate them in the community vote. They're not dominating them in the game right now. It's very, very close, and I feel like Team Invictum have played decently against Laburnum. Again, a team that came second in the major league compared to Invictum, who finished 5th in the minor leagues.
Well, seems to be our lovely King KO has decided to live up to his royalty. Decided to decorate himself a bit more in a fashionable way, which gonna be a bit on the chat right there, but anyway, that from the side is still like the skin debate a thing. I guess so, right?
Yeah.
Nah.
It happened. This is in a league called the SFCL, where a team protested in the middle of a playoff match and about a skin, and they won that round based off of that protest. Hunter gets a swing and a mate onto Hedgehog, and that's to Sophia down a lot of utility miss, but also an LMG off for the board, as Hedgehog is the first one to fall for Team Invictum. The push from Team Invictum is going to be happening towards the south side of the map. I think their focus was going to be towards Laundry/Freezer. I don't think I actually know, because that's exactly what they're doing right now. It's a mystery as to why Hedgehog maybe pushed that by himself, considering he was running right into the shotgun of Hunter instead of using his utility to remove that position and stun Hunter out in the first place. Very curious, as Hunter finds himself a second. Team Invictum did find a kill earlier on, but it is thwarted by a 2K so far from Hunter in this round.
So far looking, hopefully not to make an anticlimactic ending of like protests and anything like this. Lucan will be able to find the head of Spills, and that being said, Hunter will fall down as well, as Pi will find Lucan. making it a 2 versus 2 pie in Deadpool versus King, and oh my goodness. Lisa, but you know what? Screw Lisa. He's now out of the equation right there. It's all down to King, the Thatcher. He needs to make it work, and he needs to come out blazing, because he just needs to find 2 kills. It's going to be Deadpool and Pie in order to secure it for himself and for his team the match point. As they're sneaking up, time is ticking. King needs to do something. He's gonna go for the plan, but
15 seconds
I
left.
doubt he's gonna stick because the bait's gonna come out. The swings are gonna get flying, but no! He's gonna be unsuccessful. His Pie will find him, and with that, they're gonna close out the scoreline. And I don't know right now the rule book, but that's maybe forcing a run difference. But, well. Anyway.
Looks like we have a protest.
Yeah, it's a little bit of, how to say, taking the wind out of the sails, you could say right now from this game, but yeah. Anyway. Unfortunately, well, as we're gonna be able to try to resolve this, you're just gonna have to see us a bit on the screen, and well, I guess what are our conclusions so far up from this game? Because right now we're standing at 5-5, and I don't know which team is gonna doesn't really have the upper hand on this one.
Yeah, no, again, it's been very close. I also said that during the matchup, and a lot of people watching this match, especially fans of Laburnum, might have thought, like, especially with Team Invictum's status and talent league at the moment, that this would have been an easy breeze for Laburnum, and you wouldn't have been wrong in thinking that. But I felt like Team Invictum have done a good job of defying the odds. And I also, this is, by the way, this was Laburnum's map pick, the map choice of Oregon too. So they're taking them the full distance. I mean, it took Laburnum a couple of rounds to get not necessarily warmed up, I would say, but it took them some rounds to come back and put themselves leveled on the scoreline. But if this protest goes through, by the way, I'll tell you the results. It's basically a protest from Team Invictum themselves. If they win this protest, then they take the lead 6-4 and they put themselves on match points. If it's not the protest that I'm thinking about in the end result, then we might get a replay of that round, which is a bit unfortunate because, again, that kind of ruins the momentum a little bit. But I digress. It's been a really good game to watch so far. I've been very entertained by what's been going on between both of these teams.
Well, the little bit of discourse is gonna go a bit through on. I mean, so far, what are your opinions on the match?
I really like it. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from both teams. Invictum aren't necessarily playing like the underdogs right now. They're playing like a team that's on par with Laburnum. And again, Laburnum have a good support staff. They have decent leadership on that team, decent experience. Though some of those players have been to LAN events before. And it's amazing that Invictum, with, again, their status in Talent League, their status in Major League, that they're able to take them this far. It's been entertaining with how close it is. And these are my favorite type of siege matches. I love when the top dog takes on a team that a lot of teams or a lot of people in the community would think that they'd be like dominating, but instead it turns out to be this like really close matchup with the top dogs, aka Laburnum in this game being the top dog, making some mistakes that we've been seeing throughout the whole matchup.
Well, it looks like we got pretty much everyone back in again as we're having a little bit of discussion right there to see on whether, let's see, time was right. Time was right there for the protest, but just a quick in on the rulebook, but yeah, I don't know, perhaps. Yeah, like, can we go to a quick break then? Whilst we were figuring this one out, because let's go for a quick break, because don't worry, we still got 2 more rounds to play at the very least to see the conclusion off of this first map. And after this one, obviously, we still then got Chalet to play. And, well, if everything turns out in the way that possible, then there's also Clubhouse for the decider. But for the time being, stay tuned. We're just going to be back in just in a second. Well, 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 well. Looks like we're back. It looks like we're back with a brand new scoreline. Yep, that's right. It's gonna be a 6-4 for Invictum, as the round with skins by per the rulebook is being forfeited, meaning that Invictum got one round right there, putting them up on match point, meaning that Laburnum can once more again, but technically again successfully defend Laundry, but this time perhaps gonna make it count as well. So we're gonna see on this one, and boy, sure as hell, we hope we're not gonna see any skins anymore, because that would be, well, please
Attackers
no.
need to locate and defuse bombs.
It kills the vibe, it kills the flow, it kills the mood. And I'm pretty sure Laburnum is also a bit like, these goddamn motherfuckers. But hey.
I really did want to talk about, I'm still going to talk about that last round as well that was played, because it is the most recent round that happened. And there are a lot of, like, if Invictum attack this site the same way they did last round, and Laburnum do it the same way, hold it the same way they did again, Laburnum would probably win, because there were a lot of mistakes that I saw from Team Invictum. First of all, the Sophia just running down main stairs with nobody holding the main lobby hatch, and in that round, I don't think Laburnum had the Kaid in order for that hatch to not be breached. They could have opened up that hatch, gotten open, held that swing from Hunter, and he wouldn't have gotten himself that first kill. And then in the later stages of that round, we saw Invictum have a player go down the main stairs himself, catch a player off guard, and then Pi swing, or sorry, not Pi, oh my god, P13 swing on him from...
See, now it plays the bug in your head. Now it plays the bug in your head, but Trippum says he is just P13, which I honestly think, like, it is an absolutely stupid name to say it like this on the cast, but please consider maybe a change to Pi, because that's rolls way much more easier off the tongue. So, with that being said, and with that possibly someone insulted for, or perhaps even a whole root for later tonight, that means we're back on track and we're back on my streak, and there you go. We're back onto shots again. Hunter is starting us off, taking out Lucan, and Spill is taking out Desert, but it's gonna go down as well. Hunter gonna get the kill on the Nuzi, but I mean, Spill is still alive. He's gonna be able to crouch out the safety. Smokes are gonna come out. King pushes. Not gonna be able to quite get it though, unfortunately, but Spills goes back into safety. Hedgehog will find P13, leaving it down all to Hedgehog and King. Trying to make this one out again. Hedgehog using again a bit more pressure right now. Can't really see through the smoke quite well. King a bit in the situation, but there you go. The C4 is gonna take him out. Spills will get that kill, leaving it all down to Hedgehog with 1 minute 30 to try to clutch up. Shots gonna fly, and well, around very quickly and very swiftly come back to Laburnum, with that making it a 5 and 6.
I said it. If Invictum attacked that site and Laburnum defended like they did in the last round that we saw them play before the protest happened, Team Invictum were gonna lose that round. They did something a little bit different towards that laundry execute where Hunter was camped in, where they opened the laundry hatch and they had that angle open for them, but when the Zero was pushing down the main stairs and swinging onto Hunter, nobody was watching it. Again, no utility used to stun Hunter, make him vulnerable, maybe even a nade or anything to push him out of that position, maybe so that he's running away and his back is turned to the player who's swinging on him from the bottom of main stairs. Nothing used from Invictum in that round in order to ensure that Hunter didn't get the 2K that he got from that position, and that's exactly how they lost it. And then when they lost those two players, you saw how fast that push kind of went for Team Invictum and how fast it fell. Okay, next site, next round, new round for Team Invictum. They're still on match point, and they still have the lead so far in this matchup. Laburnum, though, with that round gain, have the momentum so far. I mean, not enough momentum, but they had not a lot of momentum, but they have some momentum because that's a round win for them. The protest more than likely made them a little bit angry, and so that carries into the way that they play, and it's turned out good so far.
Well, so far so good, but Invictum definitely hoping right now for, well, maybe a little bit of luck right there, just to see a turn a bit of their faith. But right now, Laburnum, I think, yeah, they're definitely sitting right down in a very comfortable spot. Well, let's see if, I mean, so far Invictum trying to make use of the angles that Laburnum created for themselves, but I wouldn't say like success is something else, but I'm gonna see Kaio waiting up for the Lord for his moment to shine right there. He's gonna be able to go out. He's gonna be able to inflict hefty damage onto Lucan, forcing him off as well for the time being as Kaio escapes onto Laundry and makes himself safe right there. But there you go, Newsy will find the first kill for this round, and that's gonna be Hunter who's gonna go down, and P14 will find Lucan, the Buck already completely weakened from earlier, and now thanks to the side of the Ella by King Kaio, and he's gonna get picked up by Newsy. Going back and forth right there as Newsy will try to find another one. No, unfortunately he's gonna go down, and he's gonna be staying down right there. The Lion, the E1D being called out one more again to waste a bit of time, and smokes are flying out left and right center. That's now for the latest push. Spill's gonna get the smoke. He's gonna be able to get King eliminated. So it's now 3 versus 3.
Royal canisters are tossing the defenders as they try and keep Team Invictum at bay. Diffuser outside a big window. P13 though is not going to keep himself at bay. He uses the vertical angles that Laburnum have created for themselves to his advantage, and he grabs the kill on to Deza, now leaving Hedgehog and Newsy in a 3v2 situation. Deza being on a Thinker means that, well, these situations where they're taking these gunfights, and with Newsy being on such low HP, the Thinker won't be able to boost up their health permanently anymore, and so Newsy's going to be stuck there for the rest of this round, which is going to be very important as they take these head-on gunfights. Newsy's still on top of White Stairs, is going to be the last one alive. 1v3, though he does find himself a kill, gets swiftly taken care of by Laburnum Gaming. Splizz on that SMG-11 finds that Ender, and Laburnum, well, we're heading into OT, Tyrell.
If it wasn't for the one protest round, that would have meant Laburnum would have won this map, but, well, that means we get to see overtime, and that means we get to see Invictum go on to defense and hopefully do it for them, because if everything pans out right, because right now the attack's not been really all too fancy. So if luck goes on their side, you know, get the defense rolling, get it one set going right, the attack will be lost, and then once more again defense, and then the Susan's gonna win it. They're gonna be able to go out as the winner of Oregon up on their first map, but no, that's just speculation. That's a few little bit of predictions right there, but we're gonna have to wait and see on how Invictum's gonna do. But interesting enough, they're gonna start us off with Meeting, and well, any of their record, Meeting has been a rather successful side for them on defense.
It's been successful for both them and Invictum, though Laburnum, again, they both haven't changed the way in which they've set this site up. It's a pretty default setup, right? Second floor hold, need rear stage wall reinforced. Obviously, you don't need that reinforced unless you have some sort of big plan for how you want to hold big tower and how you want to keep the attackers away from it, so that they don't get easy control of it, so that they don't get easy control of the rear stage wall. But so far, from what we've seen from Invictum, is again defaults. Second floor hold, deny Laburnum that vertical control so that the sledge doesn't get full usage out of his utility, out of his gadget. And so far so good from both of these defenses on Meeting Hall Kitchen, because I believe so far we have it at an 100% win rate for both of them. There you go, first pick. That was a nice shot.
Goodbye, Hunter. As Hedgehog, we're gonna fight. Well, start us up with the opening pick, and well, buy anything to go for. Invictum on defense, having already the first game, and with 1 minute already out of the window. You know, they got 1 kill in, so they're already like looking good. Laburnum, I wouldn't say not even remotely close of getting any control, but
Oh my god.
oh, would you look at this? There's spilled a nug from underneath. Sneaky, and he's gonna be able to find King. The Tachanka will go out, but now it's the fight on the stairs, and he will win this one as well. Newsy will go. Spills. Absolutely menacing.
Oh my
Look
God.
at this. Look, it falls as well. We started this one, and this man is on 9 kills already. We literally just played 2 rounds. He's gonna go down finally, though, but boy.
Bomb located by attackers.
Spills picking it up for Laburnum massively, but
God.
anyway, here goes KO. He's gonna find Disa. Leaving it all down to Hatchuk, who got that kill early on this one. He's gonna be able to find B13, but looking further down, but I don't think there's much he can do. So the HP is not in his favor at all. He can't allow himself to face anyone directly, even to face a bullet. And now with the diffuser planted, it's,
Attackers need
well,
to protect the diffuser.
his chances are looking quite grim. He's gonna be able to drop down, but that's pretty much predicted. KO will be able to pick him up, and with that, Laburnum take that round, and well, I guess it's finally, once I can say it, Laburnum Gaming are on match point.
Despite that protest, and despite that protest not going in Laburnum's favor, OT match point.
Yep.
Really good fight back from them. 3 rounds in a row so far from Laburnum, the French team on top of Team Invictum now. But that round was really well played, mainly from Splizz's perspective. Capitalizing off of the lurk potential that Nook has, Team Invictum clearly not knowing of her position with that first kill
Defenders, protect your bombs
from
from being
Splizz
defused
that
by
happened
attackers.
in basement from the E-Box task that Maestro got dealt with. Then the second kill came from a Team Invictum player on the rear stage stairs swinging on him. Splizz having the mechanical skills to deal with that. Rear stage wall was left open. He rotated there. Got that angle from the bottom holes that was made from Team Invictum on that rear stage wall, and he's able to get a nice shot onto the thing. But it's only a 3K for him that round, but regardless of that fact, it was a very important 3K because of Laburnum. Keep in mind, in that round, they lost the very first pick. They were losing. They had the man disadvantage at the start of that. And Splizz helped them regain that back. Well, not only 1 or 2 kills, but 3. That was amazing from him. And I really did like that play from him.
Defuse the bomb.
That was
Guys,
amazing.
it's on that. It's just like,
It was nutty.
I'm probably have to rewatch back on like on his first round, but I'm pretty sure this man is definitely sitting on like around 15, 16, maybe like 20. Like, this guy is definitely pulling his weight. But then again, like, Rook's been now playing like for,
Rios buff.
well, pretty much like it's now our 14th round, so Riz is gonna be able to do a lot, but obviously that performance cannot be undermined right there now, but still as King will then be finally opening up on the side, and well, they got a pretty good look in there, and they're trying to make Laburnum to give him hell,
Attackers have
but
located
so
a bomb.
far not gonna be able to pick up Laburnum, being smart and wise enough, not picking much, using the smoke canisters to inflict some damage and force them away from those breaches, but so far Invictum not be able to strike at the HP of Laburnum. Shoot, it's gonna go down, but Spill's gonna be able to find Handshot. Facho is now down as well. Look at this, an array and slay. All goes down, leaving it to a 2 versus 3. Kaya and Spills versus King, Diaz and Lucan. This is now it. Laburnum looking to win, but no, here goes Spills down. Kaya will find Isa. Kaya 1 versus 2. He needs to take out King and Lucan. And if he does so, that's going to be a win for today for this mob onto Oregon. As King is now going to go on the plan. Lucan looking to cover as Kaya definitely.
Attackers are
That's the
activating the bomb
position right
diffuser.
there. He slowly tries to approach and sees and gets the shots in. Leaving just King alone, who doesn't have much HP. It all can come down to this, and King does it! He does it with so much little. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to one last round.
I told you it's extremely close so far. And it's taken us into OT max match point in order to separate both of these teams. Because so far Team Invictum, they weren't able to bring it to the close in regulation. Because Laburnum thwarted them every step of the way up until that last round, where Team Invictum needed some of their star players the most. They needed not star players necessarily, but the whole team to work together in order to make that round happen the way it did. But Laburnum gave up elbow control way too easily, banked on turtling inside of the site itself, using Hunter's smoke grenades and also some other utility in order to slow it Team Invictum down. You can't give up elbow control in basement. I'm sorry, you just can't do it. Because if the attackers get control of elbow, if they get control of bunker, then they can just easily use those positions to cut off rotations back into site from rear stage stairs. They can cut off rotations into the site. If they get elbow control, then they can cut off rotations from the main hall, from the other site's rotation hall, and they could just easily get a plant down in that B site by pillars. And then they have their post plant positionings. They have the rotations on lock from Laburnum. So a lot of things went wrong for Laburnum that round. A lot of simple things went wrong for Laburnum in that round that caused Team Invictum to win the way that they did. But it was a very close one. Okay, that's not good for Laburnum.
No, that's pretty much. Well, I believe at this stage you probably should know better. And again, Kaya is going to be eliminated. It's going to be the Maverick, who is now out of the board, and well, you're gonna hurt their heart breach capabilities a lot, but you still got that pull on that ace, just solving everything at all of their issues. But Invictum definitely, they're definitely starting with a mark, so it's down really to Laburnum to pick up the slack, just turn this fade around and win it, or Invictum, we're gonna be able to slice through and get that one crucial round for them. Secure themselves Oregon.
Let's see what happens. Team Invictum have the lead so far, but we've seen leads be dismantled from both of these teams. Team Invictum in the first 3 to 4 rounds, lost the opening pick, and then they were able to fight back, and now we see Laburnum doing the same thing. Spliz, again, capitalizing off of that lurk potential, able to get a trade back with King falling as well, and that's your smoke, that's your time wasting potential. And with time running down for Laburnum, the last thing you don't want to happen is for them to start speeding up, especially with that Finka still in play from Hunter, and 2 adrenaline surges left Laburnum in the lead of 1v4, and it's Laburnum to take Oregon map 1.
Well, controversially, they managed to go through and they managed to stuck it out on this one. And, well, a little bit of salt into the wound right there. Nice try and stuff like this. But Laburnum clinching it on with an 8-7 on to Oregon. And, well, with that, they're going to win the first map of this best out of 3. That means we're going to go head into Chalet in a bit. But before that, we're going to send you in a little bit of break, and we're going to do a little bit of change because as I'm already aging quite heavily, that means I am also sometimes having to take a little bit of a nap and a little bit of rest. So in order to do that, I will send you all to the beloved, and well, I have no clue who is now going to be supposed to be on. Either it's going to be Pyro who's now going to be joining, or you're going to see gonna get a creature from the deep ocean. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But one thing is sure aside, it was a pleasure doing the first map with you, Wumby, and it was a pleasure to see both of them. But that being said, I'll go into a very quick break. I'll let both teams regain themselves and prepare themselves for Chile. We'll be back just in a sec.
Not going to be ideal, although it did force back the attack just for a little bit longer. A lovely shot by Doki, though. That's exactly what he wanted to pull back with the rotation. Going to leave it, going to leave it open. He's not trying to reinforce that block. Now just laying around the cover to try and hide his fullback. doesn't get caught off by the attack. Now, you've got to be careful with these long angles. We saw what Visu were able to do with it. Quick trade going through. Doki able to re-pick that kill up for his team. Oh, and as well as finding another one onto Ethan. That's a lovely triple kill for Doki in this round. So
Doki's full white flashed him, but the smoke is just denying any sort of push from Packet Bar. Still in that area, and Doki just finishes up with 4K from Doki that round. 3 versus 3, make that 1 versus 3, obviously gets the kill on Slim, and it's all up to F2 on that Thorn. He gets the kill onto Oxygen, he doesn't know there's one playing sandwich, he knows where the other one's playing on breach, he gets the kill onto the Ace, it's now a 1 versus 1, it's F2, and he gets the kill onto Avon. What a triple kill from F2 on the Thorn, what a...
Push in. The Havana already opening things above, and the opener goes the way of Joey. 2 as well, looking for more than just that, but it is a first 3 because of that early pick with that team killer 3K. Now for Dallas, even more up onto a quad for Joey as well. Tommy, 1 versus 2. There's the first, no second for you. It's Joey with the ace. Vivid take the opener. The multi-dimensional attack, the catalyst for their success, and the Canadian pulling out the ace.
What the hell this track is? He gets inside their Lasmo. He might get himself a third if he doesn't choke the gunfight. He has to find a clutch juice, and he has to find it now. QVG have just thrown the ball. There's no way they lose that round, and it is. There is a way they lose the round, and it is Lasmo to be that way. Loud esports out of nothing. That's
the smoke has actually been taken out, which was the one vital point you needed, the one thing you want. And that's going to be a kill onto Jaeger, almost a flush kill onto the Ruby, but not quite as big shot. Especially with 29 seconds remaining, there's going to be drop the kill all of the time. Well, the thing that is out of the there's no more. But there's going to be a kill transfer over to the Havana, the 2 F2 out of the game. It's a 1v2 situation, post plan is there. So what will our learn from the Baby Shark? He gets another kill. That's triple onto the head. He needs to get one more. And will he be able to do it? As he actually gets it. And that's going to be quad kill and a clutch from the Rooney player. What do the views in hand?
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. We're heading into map 2 of Chalet between both Team Invictum and Laburnum, and you may notice a new face beside me. It's Puffer Bob himself, the man, the myth, the legend. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing quite good. I mean, I'm here to replace another caster, but it's great to be back. I haven't casted in a while, so getting back into the mood is going to be quite interesting to say the least. Now, you mentioned map 2 is gonna be Chalet, and I hope we've mentioned that map 1 is gonna be Oregon, or actually was Oregon, and map 3 is going to be Clubhouse. So Oregon Clubhouse, the default, I guess you could say bread of the sandwich, and then you have Chalet, the map we never play, which is the peanut butter and jelly of the sandwich, you could say. And we're gonna be going yet another. It's a BO3. It's gonna be Laburnum Gaming versus Team Invictum, with Laburnum actually winning the first match. And even though the votes did seem to go towards their side, it's still not impossible for Invictum to, make a bit of a comeback on Team Invictum's side. And while we're still waiting for, of course, the last player, we'll speak of the devil, the last player did get in. We should be starting in any second now. Now, Wumby, what are your predictions on the bans?
I don't want to talk about the bans just quite yet because it's going to take a while for them to load, and usually the bans for a lot of these maps tend to be that your default bans, especially in Talent League. So the main thing that I want to talk about was that last map because it was so heavily contested, and like you said, it could go either way. It was an 8-7 win for Laburnum Gaming on their own map pick. It wasn't I wouldn't say it wasn't necessarily a convincing win because they had a lot of convincing rounds and they were really good in that match. So were Team Invictum. But it wasn't like a landslide victory by any stretch of the imagination. An 8-7 win is as close as you're going to get in against a team as good as Laburnum. And Team Invictum matched them every step of the way. But, talking about the bans, we have the Florist to start us off. And that's not too much of a surprise on Shelly because, again, he is a very default ban on this map.
Yeah, most definitely. Maybe, it was the first map, so it was kind of a bit of a more of a warm-up for both of the teams. Maybe it was Laburnum's pick, but at the end of the day, I feel like, Laburnum maybe was a bit less warmed up than, of course, Team Victim. So I feel like Chalet is going to be proving that a lot, as if Team Invictum absolutely destroys, dominates, whatever you want to call it on this map. It kind of shows that Laburnum's going to be struggling, at least in the final one, which I do believe is still their pick. So, while it is a bit more their favored, it's still not impossible. As you mentioned, it was extremely close. And with those extremely close odds on their own map, I feel like it's going to be quite a struggle going up against or even matching against a team that almost defeated you. And even, no, well, you didn't say it wasn't convincing, but I wasn't there. So how were the rounds like? Were they extremely close? Was a team dominant on each one? Or how did it kind of progress?
There were rounds where I saw Laburnum dominate. I feel like there were more rounds where Laburnum were dominating than there were of Team Invictum dominating. But for the most part, most of the rounds were very close. I felt that like some of them came down to like 1v1s. We've had some near like 1v4 clutches before, especially from players like Lucan, for example, on the second round on Oregon, there was almost a 1v4 clutch from him on the rare stage stairs where Laburnum were just pushing them one by one. And I mean, Laburnum, like you said, it took him a while. It took him a while to warm up in that game or warm up in that map to become their true selves, to pull them over into an 8-7 win. But I felt like it wasn't like in a match of Laburnum just not like doing well. I felt like Laburnum did well. I just felt like Team Invictum had like a really strong showing against them. It took them all the way to like 15. 8 plus 7 makes 15. So yeah, it took them all the way to 15 rounds in their own map pick. And again, with a team as good as Laburnum, that's extremely good, especially for a team as of Invictum status, who's finished in 5th in the minor league with Laburnum finishing in 2nd. Really good.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, how you make it sound like is that I missed a really fun game, so...
Yes.
Man, why do I have to miss the fun games? This is not fair. But let's actually forget about the past and continue what's happening right now as, time is going by quite quickly. I mean, 20 seconds, already half a minute almost down, but things are starting to happen. We already see a sledge challenger with the library. Aruni's not going to be peeking it, this is not ranked. People aren't just going to randomly peek windows because they want to kill her one tap, but, it still happens from time to time, but we won't be commenting on that. It's still... it's still the actions coming in. As Sledge actually enters library, it's going to get heated real quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Shots are getting fired, but who's going to be the first one to get his head taken off? it's the clock is still ticking down. We can't make a sure or a prediction, as Deza does actually be the first one to get taken out by the Nook from Blue Stairs. An unexpected surprise or a kill from below, you could say. The Nook sneaking all the way from a garage has seemed to actually start becoming quite a meta, you could say. You know, you see a lot of players going bottom blue with Nook ever since, I would say, like 3 months ago when I started casting. And with that in mind, I feel like it's going to get more into the meta, and with that, I feel like players are going to take that into account. You know, there's going to be a bit more versatility downstairs to prevent that, all type of stuff. But let's actually see. It's a 4v5, not too much of a disadvantage. No blades coming in from below. And although time is still ticking, me taking some damage doesn't seem to be too much, and not too bothering. Piano's going to be getting contested quite soon, I would say.
Yeah. Quite soon, as Laburnum do have that main advantage. We've mentioned multiple different times. They also have control of the library side of the map, with them looking to contest into Piano. They have the utility. Apart from Hunter, who's used two of his nades on I don't really know what, he's also fallen. So there you go. That's your finger down. That's actually a very crucial operator to lose, as nice shots go out in chat. Nice shots ring from Laburnum, as Critical finds himself two first round on Chalet, and we already have a barn burner with Newsy grabbing a 2K for himself. Plant goes down from King KO, but post-plant positioning is going to be the bane of existence from Newsy if Laburnum play this properly. One player is right on top of the diffuser, behind the half all the other by Library, and Newsy could find himself an easy kill. Pistol whipping, flashbangs go out, doesn't affect the Jaeger whatsoever, and he's solo pushing, finds himself at the end of the bearing 9 bullets, and it is Laburnum to draw first blood on Chalet.
Very close indeed. I mean, the attackers came rushing in pretty strongly. Their aggression was on top of course, Team Invictum's side. With that, a Nook actually got a 3K. You know, sneaking up Blue Stairs does seem to be a strategy now and then. And of course, with that in hand, she was instantly shot down on, of course, Solarium Stairs by the Jaeger, although he actually was very close to getting a clutch at the end. I mean, the Hibana and him were kind of in a duel between secondaries. You have the Bearing 9 and the B12 in hand. If the Jaeger could have gotten there, it would have been quite a chance to even maybe clutch out with a 1v4 situation, I believe. Came down to a 2v4 for the Mutant, and got taken out. Then we just an exchange of kills at the end of the day. But, you know, nice try from the Jaeger. We can at least give him props for that. Now, you know, we're going back upstairs. They want to give it a second try. Some teams, I feel like they don't want to give too many second chances to rounds, or actually to specific sites. And some teams, you know, some teams want to adapt. Some teams want to do what they can against, of course, this Nook. And we already see Newsy, I believe. He's going to be playing a bit more on the low. You know, he wants to prevent that just rush onto library, take it all out, K9 out of the window, just all that type, because Nook can get so much. You know, you'd normally think Sledge, yeah, Sophia can cover a lot of ground, but if you're thinking Nook taking out places so easily and so undetectable is just extremely powerful. You know, when she came out, no one thought of her as that, but now she's actually getting quite used as, I guess, same could go for Finka, but yeah. It's still not much happening. Now, of course, Laburnum are off to a good start, just like before they won. And what will be, I hope, that we will not be seeing another win from Laburnum's side, as, you know, we want to go into the BO3 fully. And that's going to be first goal going on to Deza. Malusi getting taken out. A bit of a sneaky peek from her. She wanted to challenge that Finka, but didn't actually manage to take out, to actually get out as the winner. Of course, Finka being very aggressive. You know, she's already pushing into small box, going as far as she can. Blaze gets another kill onto King. That's going to be a double kill from the side of Laburnum Gaming. Back to a 5v3. You know, they're playing very aggressively. They already have a 5v3, just like earlier in the round, and another double kill, transferring onto a 5v2. A kill from Hunter. That's going to be his third. Will he be able to get the fifth and the quad kill in his hand? We're going to have to see this challenge in Piano. Hedgehog doesn't want to give it. They're both on low HP. The finger adrenaline is used. What all are we do in this situation?
Not a lot. You get shut down by P13. That was a perfectly played round for Laburnum. You said it, early aggression from them, but early aggression also from Team Invictum netted them some pretty early losses. You saw a couple of aggressive swings, especially from Piano, despite Team Invictum having that man disadvantage. Some teams usually play a bit more back behind their utility. Team Invictum didn't do that, and that's why Laburnum get their second round in a row. next site for Team Invictum is going to be Kitchen Dining. But, you know, as a side note, if you are a little bit newer to the game, Chalet is a bit more attacker-sided. Not even a bit more, it is a lot more attacker-sided, especially with the map, the way that the map is built. It does give a lot of advantages to the attackers, and as a defender, you feel quite suffocated playing on this map, and that's what Team Invictum are encountering so far. They're being suffocated on this map. They're trying to hold on to different areas around the map. You think of library, that's on their main bedroom office hold, at the same site that they played twice in a row, where they were holding towards library, and it crumbled twice. It crumbled twice in a row because of just some early aggression from Laburnum, aided by some of their more aggressive players. Hunter and Critical. Last round it was Hunter. The round before that was Critical. And you saw the map control from Team Invictum just crumble so quickly. 2 rounds in a row that happened. And now they're going on to Kitchen Dining, which mainly depends on how good their top floor hold is. But it depends really. It depends mainly on how good their top floor hold is. At first, I thought they weren't holding on to top floor because Kitchen Hatch from the master bedroom was reinforced, which is a curious decision from Team Invictum, but it's their setup. I'm not gonna comment.
Yeah, I mean, I actually like how Laburnum is actually playing. It's quite a unique playstyle. You know, the Finka goes in, she gets a kill, and if someone tries to, you know, refrag the teammate, Sludge is going to be behind her, backing her with all the support he can. It's kind of like playing chess, you know, there's always a backup, and no one's going to be getting through, but that's a double kill from a nade! Transferred off to Kin and Lucan. Of course, the Wamai and the Mute both out of the game. A C4 and some Wamai gadgets wasted, and that's going to be, you know, it's going to be a bit of a vengeance kill onto Hunter, which is a good pick. I'm just gonna say it up straight. How Pink has been performing and how useful she is, even in the late rounds with the fracking potential. Her being taken out this early, I feel like could bring a lot of potential, but there's still not a lot of advantage in that. Of course, a double nade kill. Yeah, we aren't gonna. I won't even say how good that is. And another kill from the Splash. Splish gets a kill on Deza, refragging the Finka, but Aruni will not be able to return the favor. Now, it's only Newsy and Hedgehog. You know, they're still trying to hold both, but they're just going on this side. You know, no one wants to be upstairs alone. That's just a bad idea in general. They're trying to hold side alone, but it's a 2v4 situation. You know, you have people upstairs, you have people breaching into side, just trying their best, and with not much utility to spare, it's going to be quite hard defending it, unless, of course, something happened like previous round as mentioned, you know, everyone pushing in, but that's not how it's going to be. This is not how it's going to be played through. The breach goes down, it's 1 minute left, and of course, Sludge is upstairs ready to smash.
Yep, he's smashing on the floor right now, you know, making extra vertical angles for Laburnum to be able to capitalize off of, but it is going to be the dining execute that is the focus for Laburnum. King KO behind the smoke, behind the bomb chastity with the A to P13 on the long angles, and also the vertical angles being held by the Sledge. They don't even need to get the plant down because Critical just rushes into dining. He gets himself a 2K on the west main and the bottom of trophy stairs. Laburnum, 3 rounds in a row so far on the attack on Chalet, and I know I said Chalet is an attacker-sided map, but Team Invictum, when it comes to their map control, in that round, it was on the second floor, it just crumbled so quickly, and that's why you see them taking the timeout now, because they know how bad it's getting, and they need to figure out a way to slow down Laburnum, to disrupt the momentum high that they're on, and to just learn to not give up map control so easily and in such a quick manner, because that happened in like a couple of seconds where 2-3 players died on the top floor and Invictum couldn't do anything about it.
I mean, I feel like, okay, the momentum breaking thing has happened a lot, and it's quite actually a smart move. I mean, right now Laburnum is taking every advantage they can while playing an attacker. This, like mentioned previously, this is a very attacker-sided map, and they're going to take every single advantage they can. They're going to zone out all the players, take all of the important parts, which are to be secured very, you know, upstairs is very important for just vertical holds, all that type of stuff, and they're going to be taking out those specific spots to choke out the opposing players, just to not allow any type of flanks, any type of, you know, refrags, all that type of stuff. And with that in hand, they're actually playing it perfectly. Now, if they're going to continue, that's great for them. But I
Attackers need
feel
to
like
locate
this
and defuse bombs.
this timeout actually can, break that momentum. It's happened
Attackers have
before,
discovered the
and it can
location of a
happen again.
bomb.
Multiple teams had this just rush of adrenaline, 4 rounds in a row, 5 rounds in a row, almost a comeback from a 6-1. And at the end, most of the time, it does get broken by the good old timeout. But now, if that's been used, you can't really help yourself with that. But I feel like with this, talk through, they maybe switch play styles. They want to play a bit more aggressively, or just full on defensively, letting the attackers come to them. Maybe switch up the strats. Maybe they have a backup, all that type of stuff. And I mean, they have their time, and let's hope they use it well, because Laburnum is just. They're on a whole new level, at least it seems like. The last match, it was close, but they're not letting it be as close as before. At least not for now, unless, of course, Team Invictum does something which says something about it.
Yeah, no. Totally. Team Invictum, they can disrupt this momentum. We saw it on Oregon a couple of times, where even in OT match point, where it was 3 rounds in a row from Laburnum. They won that OT match point that Laburnum were on, bringing it to a 7-7. Yes, they did lose Oregon, but again, that was a situation where it was 3 rounds in a row for Laburnum, and Invictum were able to disrupt it. But again, they surrendered the first pick off of some good teamwork for Laburnum in that round, instead of it being like a solo effort. From the past 3 rounds in a row that we saw Laburnum win, it was a good solo effort, good solo push in order to get the first pick. That round was just a flurry of bullets flirted at Deza from multiple cross angles that Laburnum held. Second kill goes into Laburnum favors as well as Team Invictum. They're dropping like flies. The first pick is almost always going Laburnum Gaming's way, with no response from Team Invictum on these defenses.
Laburnum are just beasts. Dezo didn't even have a chance. You saw him, he was walking around casually, get shot off, crossed off, didn't have a chance in bathroom. He backs away, piano, and officer already taken. And this is what we love about Laburnum. They're just taking up, choking up spots. They're not allowing any passage, no air to go through. And this is what is making their plays out so good. Although they did exchange a player, they're still in a man advantage even after that. They have a lot of control, they have full piano, maybe even flanks covered with, the player dying and being able to be on cams. Although the smokes are going out, he already used all 3, and the minute hasn't even, it's not even down to the final minute. And this is how Laburnum plays. They're extremely aggressively, but in a way that they can, reform or regain some sort of control, which is absolutely perfect. This is what we love from attackers. Hedgehog getting absolutely, yet again, molested from all sides. Newsy getting a kill on his spills, but Newsy himself taking quite a margin of damage, a big chunk, you could say. Now, Wamai, the Jaeger, both the anti-denial nade operators are quite low, while the smoke is pretty safe himself, as Hunter gets another kill onto Newsy. That's going to be Jaeger out of the match. Criticals onto King. Will the Wamai be able to do only 3 clutch? It does not seem like, as Laburnum will be taking their 4th round in a row. They're I can't explain it. They're holding cross angles, not allowing anyone to pass through. There are these centuries of just absolute abomination.
May I remind everyone that this is Invictum's map pick, and right now Laburnum are just rolling over them. And I keep saying this, Chalet is an attacker-sided map.
Yep.
Despite that, this is your map pick. You shouldn't be getting rolled over like this on your own map pick. 4 rounds in a row from Laburnum Gaming. Team Invictum losing bodies early on, and in that last round, they had to fight back. They did. It was kind of scary for Laburnum, but Laburnum, again, finding the kills that they need in that 3v3 situation, turning it into a 3v1, isolating the last player by himself, and able to get that last kill. Team Invictum need to find a way to shape up these defenses, because at best, now, they can only finish with the 4-2. And going on to their attack, that's not too bad, but you would want to finish with a 3-3 at least, so that you can go onto the favor side of attack and have some leverage. Because right now, this is getting a little bit, I'm pretty sure, tilting for Team Invictum. Despite the way Chalet is built, this is not how I imagine Team Invictum's defenses were going. Last time on Oregon, their defenses were a lot better than this. They were a lot more aggressive on their defenses. They were better at getting kills. They were better at trading out. And on Chalet, that's a lot. It's just flipped. It's a lot worse. 10 times worse. And nothing's working out for them so far. Again, that last one was very close, so they have some momentum to work off of, but still, that's a loss. And a very bad one at that.
I completely agree with you. Like, the point I liked what you said is, okay, yes, it is very attacker-sided, but that doesn't make it impossible. That doesn't make it, you know, 100% win rate for attackers. It's still very possible for defenders, and with that, you know, I feel like the tactical timeout didn't work in their advantage, but maybe even in their disadvantage. Maybe they had a bit of, you know, this potential of maybe kind of this improvement of mistakes, if you know what I'm trying to get at. They were getting better. It seemed like the rounds were going a bit more towards their favor, but then I feel like that momentum was cut off by themselves. So they didn't really do anything to Laburnum. They were hoping to trade the momentums, you know, trying to get themselves back on track, maybe even get a 3-3 out of there. But it just seemed to work for them. Whereas Laburnum is just back with more energy. I mean, you even said Deza right now, who is spawn peeking against... I don't feel like saying this, but that's not a very wise idea against how players are playing, and that's going to be an insane shot from the sledge. Finka Boost, he's getting his HP back. Thunder taking some damage, and Luca not as much. He's backing off, not trying to get traded himself, and Hedgehog is out of the game. It's man advantage, but HP is going to get recovered on the attacker side by, of course, I love the Finka player, Thunder, and, you know, upstairs is under control. Their control takeover is amazing. Lucy is still trying to, you know, take over side from hatch, but there's going to be days, there's going to be verticality, everything's going to start getting included. It's going to drop like hellfire, and talking about that, Hunter's going to be bringing it first pretty hot onto King. That's going to be smoke out of the way, couldn't get all his canisters out, but, you know, at least he tried.
Oh my god. They're just dropping like flies. Now we're in a 1v5. Lucan finds one, but can't find himself a second, as he's the last kill. 5-0 is the scoreline for Laburnum.
Adaptivity is not absent.
Adaptivity is not here for Team Invictum. It's left the lobby. It's left the chat.
It has
because again, I mean, all of the rounds that have been played, Team Invictum, from what I'm seeing compared to how they played on Oregon, are a lot more passive with their map control. That round, we did see an aggressive swing from Deza on Mezzanine, on the top of Mezzanine, trying to get that kill onto Spliz. It was a very unfavorable position from him to do that, because again, ACOG versus a 1.5, a weaker gun versus one of the stronger assault rifles in the game. Not something you want to do, but he challenged it. He was trying to get that first pick for his team. He gambled. He lost a lot in that round for his team. And again, it's just easy for Laburnum so far. Quickly getting that first pick. Then we see some players who were, well, not some players, but what the Frost for Team Invictum, Lucan, on the top of library stairs, backing off because he doesn't have enough support. His utility is being burnt out from Laburnum. And again, Laburnum just easily getting that first pick, taking map control easily. It's clockwork for them. They're smoothly taking down this Team Invictum defense, and Team Invictum have nothing to say for it. It's a landslide right now for Laburnum Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, most definitely, but I do wonder, there's this question. When decides to switch? Maybe a bit of a switch for Team Invictum themselves. I mean, the morality is most definitely going down. I feel like the morality is probably going down. They're not feeling their best or their greatest at all. I can say that for the least, but when you're on the attacking side, maybe they're going to be performing, you know, maybe 100 times better. Maybe they're going to be bringing the heat themselves, like Laburnum is currently. We see Lucy going extremely violently. You know, they're trying to get the first pick. I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to, every round it seems like Laburnum was getting the first pick very aggressively and very strongly. And, you know, Team Invictum is actually going to be switching it up and taking out Hunter, the think of the team. Got Hot Hand, call him the fragger, besides, of course, Criticals. But, of course, also
Azami.
Azami, thank you. Yes, Azami also getting quite close to taking off Sledge's head. And another onto Criticals is going to be Newsy with a 3v5. They're switching it up, not letting it be completely flawless, at least not on this round. Just we do not see a huge comeback from the team of Laburnum. I mean, they were doing absolutely excellent, but if they seem to drop that attitude, drop that flow, as they are currently, that's going to be a double, actually a kill from Nuzi onto King, but right before that, King actually got himself onto Luke, and Nuzi getting challenged from all types of directions, but will he be able to make it out? He does not, as Sludge gets a kill onto him. It's a 2v3. Now let's just hope Team Invictum can hold it in for this last minute.
So far, so good from Team Invictum. I mean, this is what we wanted to see. You know, aggressively denying map control while also looking to win their wins. Because when they have aggressively tried to deny map control for Laburnum, so far in Chalet, they've been losing their gunfights. And then when they try and play passively, they're losing their gunfights. So now that they have a couple kills on the board, and now that they have this man advantage, they have something to work off of. Laburnum's pressure is going to be mainly from the south side of the map, as 2 players have died over there. So that gives Laburnum that part of the map to control, but well, where's the fuser? The fuser's outside. No hard breach for Laburnum, so they can't go for an easy plant behind the half wall. P13 just pushing inside of piano behind the keeper barrier with Spliz inside of office. They're working a pinch here. Spliz caught in the crossfire. Now,
oh my god!
He finds himself on 2K. What the heck? What just happened?
No.
Okay. Wait a minute.
No.
No, I want to think about this round for like 1 second.
I gotta take a breather.
So, I'll you know what? I'll talk for you. How about that? So, Team Invictum, they get the first 2 picks over by Library. They're trying to aggressively deny map control to Laburnum. Okay, there you go. There goes step 1. Step 2, as Laburnum takes that timeout because that round was a mind boggler, Laburnum gets 2 back, but they're still stuck in a 3v2 at that point. Because Team Invictum, they get a 3rd kill as Laburnum Gaming are rushing in. In that situation, in the 2v3, Spliz and whoever was on the Ayana, because I can't remember for the life of me, were positioned on the south side of the map. One player was positioned over by office. The other player was positioned on the library double door. The Ayana goes into piano, takes that control, doesn't get a kill, but it is Spliz whose position in office is very crucial because he gets the first kill on the player at master bedroom. Then you see the Ayana rush into a crossfire made by Team Invictum. And then it looks like all is lost because it's a 1v2. Then Spliz again from that position, that crucial position, moves himself from office into master bedroom. Gets that first kill from that cross angle. No way he gets the second. There's a way he gets the second. He gets that second kill. And he clutches around for Laburnum Gaming. How? I don't know. 6-0 is the lead so far, and Laburnum match point 6-0. Team Invictum have not grabbed a single round on defense of Chalet. And I said Chalet is an attacker-sided map, but there's no excuse for that at all. That round should have been Invictum's. This should have been a 5-1 half. But it's 6-0 at the moment.
Attackers have located a bomb.
I don't want to be rude to any teams or anything like that, but I feel like I just got instant depression from that. It was a 2v4. I mean, it happened all in an instant. You explained it perfectly, play by play, and I mean, Team Invictum had it. They had it all going. They could have, cross angles, held anything. Maybe they did. Maybe they tried to get their own way, but it didn't seem like it. And it was a good start. This is what Team Invictum was looking for. A good start, a first pick, a second pick. Not allowing players to get traded out after. That is what we needed to see the whole time. They had it. They had it all to grasp with their hands, and they just let it go, which was absolutely, it's a new experience to say the least. I'm not gonna players, that's no need. And that's gonna be a kill from Deza onto Azami. A first pick. Like mentioned, Team Invictum is gonna be getting their second round, getting their first pick, and Counter just running into side, the usual, getting his head shot off. It was actually quite quick of a take, and Garrett didn't seem to, care about much for droning. They didn't take much attention. They just went in, and actually it paid out. As breach is gonna be going off, Thatcher coming in clutch, and it's gonna be main breach. In the first minute, not even the first minute, the first 45 seconds, 50 seconds, main breach is out. And now only the second one, they should be themselves in a good possession. As Critical starts taking damage, Spill's trying to go for a flank, but Thatcher is going to be getting the second kill of the team. It's going to be a king onto king battle. seems like this ain't good for Laburnum. Is out to
Oh, what the
the
fuck?
victory for Team Invictum. A double kill transferred, actually a trade, it seems like. Does on to P13, and Luca gets traded out himself. It's going to be the thermite. Now it's a 2v4. Please don't make us steal again. Please.
So 2v4. 2v4, bro. Invictum. There's no way they throw this at that last round, and we saw some green come in from Team Invictum. So hopefully it's not the same thing here. It is the kill from King. Makes it a 1v4. Spliz by himself. 9-2 at the moment for Laburnum Gaming. But it's not only him who's pulling his weight. It's Critical, it's Hunter, but they're all dead. But he's not. He finds himself a second. The Fuser's down. There's a player to his hard left. And Spliz clutches this out. That is some insane game sense. He's reading right in Invictum's positions. He knows where the second one is, and if Invictum throw this, I don't know what to tell you. The second player is on the top of West Main, and he does find his death from the player inside of trenches / whatever this is called by Boiler. And it is a round for Team Invictum. First round on the board for them, 6-1 is the scoreline, and Laburnum still very much in the lead. But that was almost a clutch from Spliz. But Team Invictum are able to clean it up. They did what they couldn't do in the round before. And that's clutch it out when it mattered most. Clutch it out when it mattered most in the situation.
I'm quite pleased they didn't actually clutch it out. That would have been 2 rounds, a 5v2 or a 4v2, you may call it. Clutch, if that happened, 2 rounds in a row, I have no more hope for Team Invictum. Next time I'm casting, I'll bring it up, and that's it. I'll just cast them on. But thank God Team Invictum got their first run, so they're not going to be going down completely flawlessly, as they're going to be, taking back the hand of, I guess you could say, the golden glove, and they're going to be, they're going to be taking all the advantages, just like Laburnum on the attacking side. Well, yet again, it was almost close again. Surprisingly, they still managed to get a victory, and that's all that matters, at least in the round-wise. Now, of course, sites are switching. Of course, Laburnum doesn't feel safe on the same side. They don't want to adapt too much. They want to see what works best and what gets them the closest first. They want to test out. You want to see what really gets you to the victory the closest. There, adapt. And what got me intrigued, it's gonna be Gridlock. We don't see Gridlock, well, but at least we didn't used to see her, not that I'm informed, but Gridlock did get a buff quite a decent time ago, and I feel like she could be the new Nomad. Okay, don't get me wrong, but I feel like she could be the new Nomad. You don't agree with that?
I'm so sorry. I don't know.
It's okay. Okay, I get why. But you're forgetting Gridlock is quite thick, so she does. She has her advantages. But yeah, going back to the attacking side, nothing's still happening. Pretty chill. Nothing going down too quickly. Of course, Laburnum still taking time on everything, trying to take out drones. Spill is just in the kitchen, getting some breakfast ready, while the attackers are actually starting to surround him. So, just a few more seconds, and he could be in quite a decent amount of trouble.
2 drones taken out by Spliz, so his drone game is going pretty decently at the moment. As for Invictum, they are wasting a lot of time on this first 4, but it's not a lot of time wasted. They want to get control of Kitchen. They want to be able to cut off some positions that are being played, especially with Lucan all the way from Kitchen, having this angle from Dining, and there's players on the main stairs where he was looking at, and he fired at him. Didn't do anything. Single piece of damage, but oh my god, I thought Hunter got that kill, but it wasn't him. It was Hedgehog who gets the opener. Second kill goes into Team Invictum. The third also going second for King. 4v2 as Critical finds a fight back. Team Invictum doing what they hadn't done on their fences, and that's get the first open picks, and they're getting it in the masses, but Laburnum, they're fighting back. Critical with the second.
Yeah, it's all starting to drop down. I mean, Laburnum does seem to work a lot worse on defense. It feels like this map has a huge influence on attack, way more than I thought, and I think way more than all of us thought. It seems to be working for these teams quite dandy, and is Critical's going to be able to pick off a kill? And he actually does that triple kill. Transferred over to him. Will be a quad almost onto Deza. He gets revived, not quite revived. He's injured. Well, he gets taken out. No, he does not. Nuzia kill. It's a 1v1. Twitch versus the Finca of the team. It's a 1v1 situation. A quad for criticals. Does he get the super shot in hand? Not anymore. It's the Blue Stairs battle. HPs are getting traded. HPs are pretty much on the same. No boosts, no advantages. It's a gunfight, and it's going to be decided by, I feel like Twitch. Twitch has a lot better gun, which is going to be quite realistic. And so it will be Nuzi getting the second, actually the third round. The second or third? Second.
That was indicative of what was going on Oregon. Like, that was around that was kind of one of the main rounds that I was talking about, like those close 1v1 situations where a team is in the advantage and then the team that's in a disadvantage is fighting back, and it ends up one player in a 1vx situation. And Critical almost made that work. 13-4 for him, and he almost could have, I believe he did get himself a quad kill or a 3.
He did.
Yeah, okay, I was right. But yeah, like, that was almost a pullback from Critical, from Laburnum, but on the back of Critical, who so far is their top fragger. But everybody on Laburnum is doing a good job so far of keeping this lead the way that it is. But Team Invictum, 2 rounds in a row in the attack, and they're slowly seeming to gain momentum. The question is, can they keep it up? Because Laburnum, 6-2. Any mistake that Team Invictum make now that nets them a round loss, it's Laburnum's map and it's Laburnum's series, and Team Invictum will have to go to the loser bracket.
Yeah, they're starting to slowly climb up the ladder. I mean, 2 wins in a row. We've seen 6 wins from Laburnum, but, you know, you're forgetting the point where Team Invictum loses one match. I guess it's round, you could say. 1 round, and it's over. It's over for the whole day. They don't get retries. They don't get anything. Well, Laburnum still has 4 retries in hand, so they're looking at a way more comfortable position, way more testing, way more seeing what works, what doesn't on defense. And that does give them a huge advantage. You know, the first one to get a multiple round advantage in general is just in a better position. And of course, it's coming in quickly. Just like with Laburnum, attackers are acting quickly and they're taking out Trophy. They're going as quickly as possible. Elamine's going down, and I was kind of hoping for a shotgun. This is not quite a close range map, but also is depending on the room, I guess you could say. Now, with that in mind, let's not forget that, of course, Laburnum is actually playing decently passive. They're playing a lot more passive than attack, so I feel like attacking is a lot more influential than on most of the maps. As Nezak gets a kill onto criticals, this is going to be a nade, none the wiser. It's going to be a 4v5 as well. So, you know, talking about misguiding situations that you don't want to be in, this is going to be the man match. That's what it is. And, of course, another kill from Nuzi over to Hunter. It's going to be a 3v5. All going down. Those with quite a challenge from Buck. Another nade kill from Tezza. With onto parry 13. Buck is downstairs dealing with Omai, meaning that Jaeger's literally alone on site. It's a 1v4 for this Jaeger. Clan is going down. Can he do anything? He gets taken out. This Omai seems to just be stuck. He gets a kill onto Nuzi. But will he be able to get the rest? I heavily doubt that. Verticality is going to be coming from the Buck. And I'm just going to say it right now. This round is going to Invictum.
Has to be. Victor, we've seen him throw like 1vx's before, but this is a little bit different. They have the advantage with their post-plant positioning. 1 player, 2 players actually, on the repel on those north side windows. 1 at the bottom of the Trophy. And the Buck watching for any vertical angle. Split is getting flashes keep going out. He's onto the fuse. They know about it. Yes, they do. And they finally kill him. That made me clinch just a little bit. And that is Team Invictum getting their 3rd round in a row. That one was a little bit more convincing than their previous 2 attacking rounds. They got quick map control of Trophy. They knew what they wanted to do. They had players set up on a north side rappel, cleared out the roam game from Laburnum, or not necessarily the roam game, but some of the power positions from Laburnum around the site itself. Give them that space to work with inside of the site. Got that plant down. Played the post plant. Did lose 2 players in the process, but that was as clean as you could get on Shelly. That was a decent attack from them.
Yeah.
Again, the question remains, can they keep it up?
Oh, they need to do it for 3 more rounds in a row. I mean, Laburnum has been testing out. You know, they went downstairs, didn't work out. They went upstairs, and now they're in the bar for the 2nd time. They were the closest to doing this. They were actually very, and I mean extremely close to winning here. So, you know, with a bit of adaptivity and a bit more of, you know, analyzation, all that type of stuff, I feel like they can actually see what they did wrong. They can make up for it. As
10 seconds to
I
insertion.
feel like, just like with Team Invictum, Laburnum right now is
5 seconds to
winning
go.
or getting close to these round wins with clutches. You always,
Attackers are
all
moving
these
to
rounds,
the
I feel like
bomb.
it was a 1v4, it was a 2v4, it was always something type of a clutch. At the end, it wasn't like exchanging 5v5, 4v5,
Bomb located by
4v4, all
attackers.
that type of stuff. And you know, if they keep off going off of that gameplay, game style, it's not gonna work out. we're not gonna even go off of how terrible that, you know, that thinking, that mindset is. And it's just in general, I think you just want to adapt. You want to adapt and it'll work out. That's how they would say it.
Yeah, no. Of course. And I feel like Team Invictum, or not really Team Invictum, this isn't necessarily... It's been good attacks from them, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's a case of Laburnum doing the same thing that we saw from Invictum on their defenses, and that's just maybe a lack of adaptation. Again, Chalet tends to be attacker-sided, but I feel like the defenses have been a little bit lackluster despite how attacker-sided this map has been. And it's not been just from Team Invictum, it's been from Laburnum as well. They've been giving like some pretty easy tips early on to Team Invictum. Like, keep in mind that while there are some situations, Laburnum find themselves dying to the opening pick to Invictum most of the time. I don't think we've seen some opening picks from Laburnum from their defenses, but most of the time it's been Team Invictum to take that lead. Newsy takes a lot of damage now on the Nomad as the first kill again goes into Invictum's favor. And that splits the ball. That's your one of your top fragments of all time. Critical, who's found some impressive stats on the castle. And another player could fall in the shape of Hunter as Laburnum, they're losing bodies, they're losing control.
Yeah, I feel like we're just playing a flash game at this point. Whoever gets the first pick, they're declared the winner of that round. It's kind of that type of situation. At least it's been for the past few rounds. And back to a 3v5, you know. It's going to be Laburnum probably going off another clutch. At least that's all I can see in my eyes currently happening. They've been doing great on attack. And Team Invictum is going to be returning the favor, you know. It is a very attacker-sided map, and both of these teams are taking great advantage of that, you know, choking them out, taking out the advantage, using the advantage of having better guns in general and utility for killing. And with that in mind, you know, while the time waste, I do gotta give it, Laburnum, I feel like time waste, they're doing a bit better. But not with grenades, you know, a triple kill from Daza, not all grenades, but there have been grenades included. Another kill onto King Kaio, and will he be able to clutch it up from the hatch? He goes up to the Finca with that challenge in mind, but will he be able to do it? I mean, the post-plant situation is in action. He doesn't have too much time. As a defender, now he's on the time limit, unlike the attackers. King gets down, but that's quite not enough. It's still 3 players he needs to take care of, and it's going to be, of course, our lovely Dazo with the finishing blow, the Finca LMG onto the head, and he didn't stand a chance to even begin with. Yet again, they went off of a 1v blank, 1vx situation, a 1v4, 1v5, 2v4, 2v5, all that type of stuff. And, you know, Team Invictum just won 4 rounds in a row, and if in these next 2 rounds they can't even win a single round, they could be looking at a potential comeback from Team Invictum. And Laburnum is going to be in quite some trouble. And what I feel quite fascinating is, it's going to be, I feel like the winning team is going to be the one that starts in overtime on attack. I think it's going to depend a lot on that.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
Yeah, we most definitely have a game on our hands. By the way, Laburnum do not have a timeout. They wasted it when they switched tabs. So this would have been a good time for them to take timeouts, considering that this is getting deathly close to a 6-6 score. Like the amount of rounds separated between the 2 teams.
10 seconds left
You
before
can count. It's 2. It's by 2 now. It was at 6 at the start of
5
half.
seconds left.
And Team Invictum have clawed 4 back. Laburnum haven't really been that I don't want to say it like that. They haven't been too convincing on defenses, but that's not to say that Invictum had like impressive defenses themselves. Remind you, that was a flawless half from Laburnum Tech. And Laburnum are falling into the same type of bad habits that we've seen from Invictum. Giving up the early picks, not finding any value in the early stages of the round, and then when they're losing these picks, they give up map control easily to Team Invictum. Team Invictum are able to just move in and take that map control and then just attack onto these sites. And Burnham have no way of stopping them. Why? Because they've already lost like 1 to 2 men in the space of like the opening 30 to 50 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it's both of these teams are excellent on attack, but defense is just not their cliche, not for the least. And of course, I feel like it's either the aggression is wrong or the strats. We can't really blame the strat. It's something being played, some sort of playstyle mindset that's currently offset. That's putting these players in these situations. I mean, Rose is going for yet again the first kill he can, but gets taken out. They're trying to get the first pick, but pushing the attackers while. I feel like, you know, it's kind of a fact. Defenders are the ones meant to push. So, you know, playing off of Hunter right now upstairs, those could have been in a lot better of a situation, maybe in the crossfire, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to do, you just want to be a bit more safe. You want to have a backup if you die. It's quite a bit of a gamble, quite a huge gamble, should I say, if you want to go for the first kill, but then you kill yourself. It's an exchange that, you know, if you don't let your teammates know, it does come out to be bad, but that's gonna be critical with a actually a bit of a revenge kill onto Nuzi, you know, getting Spliz on off the board. But so, you know, the Nook is out of the cranny. I guess I hate saying that so much. That is such a bad pun. And Hunter with another kill onto Lucan is gonna be having on of the team. King trying to just get anything through the smoke, but it's not coming through. And 50 seconds is ticking down on the clock.
45 seconds left for Team Invictum as the man advantage has quickly flipped on its head. Could this be the round that Laburnum take the series to? It sort of looks like the Team Invictum are opting for a more horizontal push despite the vertical from Laburnum Gaming. 25 seconds tick down on the clock. That's the fuser down as P13 takes out King Deza and Hedgehog, the last two players alive, but Deza falls. Hedgehog 1v4 situation. You have yourself 3 kills. Can you find yourself 4 more to put you on 7 to 7? Well, it seems unlikely. Finds himself 1, but it's quickly shut down by King KO, the manager of Laburnum Gaming. And it is Laburnum Gaming to take the series 2-0, 7-4 on Chalet, 8-7 on Oregon. And that's game. That's GG's.
GG's indeed. Well played from both of the teams, but it seems like the better attacker at the end of the day was Laburnum Gaming. We're not going to be going into good old third map, which is going to be Club. Yeah, pretty much not going into map 3. Well played from Laburnum, and surprisingly, which is I haven't done this in a while, but we're going to be having a bit of an interview. And of course, it's going to be KO joining us for today. Hello, KO.
Hi.
Well, first off, and let's get this off the board. Well played, and GG's to your team. You won both of the maps. The first one being quite close, and I sadly wasn't there. But the second one, you absolutely dominated on the attacking side. So, do you have any thoughts on, you know, how you're gonna continue this, I guess, streak of the Titan series?
I guess we hope that we are full lineup at the next week because 2 of our players, Sarek and Hoku, are on vacation. And so I jumped in as coach and stand in like P13 as well. We both were stand in today's Deadpool on the first map because Critical was sick and slept the first map. But hey, we just try to focus now and yes.
Fair enough. I have another question actually. You know, I believe it was you had 6-0 and the maps or the roles swapped and you took a timeout. Do you wish you could have actually used that timeout in the later rounds when Invictum was going for a 4 flawless round victory, just constantly going one after another? Do you wish you could have maybe used that timeout later, or was it just, you know, timed well?
I don't think that the timeout later had any changes. we took the timeout because our player Bliss need something to drink because it's so fucking hot in Germany.
Fair enough.
And yeah, we talked between the rounds what goes wrong, what happens, and where were the mistakes, and we try to focus. And yeah, I guess the communication was really good between the rounds. So yeah.
I mean, that's great. Wombi, do you have any questions yourself?
Yes. In one of the rounds on saw protests coming in from Team Victim about a skin. I can't remember which player it was on, but
It was me.
oh, it was you. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, it was on you, and the protest came in, and then when the protest was said and done, the rulings and stuff like that came out. Team and Victim put themselves onto 6-4. How and put they put themselves on point. How did you guys, after that, mentally pull yourselves back up? 2 rounds. It was 3 rounds in a row. When you got into overtime, it was like 7-6 when you guys led. You guys won the map 8-7. How did you guys mentally pull yourselves together after that? Because I'm pretty sure protests like that not going your way would have been upsetting, to say the least.
Yeah, it was a stupid mistake of mine because I don't play any competitive games since years. After the protest, we was more confident than the whole time and said, okay, now we have to fuck them. And yeah, a long story short, 8-7 was really close, but I guess Chalet was a demonstration what the team can do. We don't have to forget that we had on Oregon Deadpool in our team, who's our manager and didn't play this game since 3 months. Just step in and yeah, so it was very close. I guess with Critical at the beginning, we have absolutely slaughtered them on Oregon, but we said it in Eagle Empire League this week. Don't take Oregon defense first against us because we're dominating in defense every time. And yeah, it's a mistake our opponent does every game, and yeah, so win is win.
Wow.
One thing that I also wanted to talk about was the bans on Oregon. Not really from you, but from Team and Victim. Were you guys surprised by the Clash ban? Because I was pretty shocked by
Clash ban, like,
on
doesn't really
Oregon.
matter. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have Clash threats, that's no secret anymore.
Mhm.
But I guess Bliss is really happy if he don't have to play Clash. So it was a comfort button for us as well. And yeah, yeah, one with or without Clash, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
The guys are really strong, and yeah, so we don't care what the opponents ban. We just want to play our game, try to adapt in much situations, but
Yeah, I get it. The Clash ban was truly baffling to me because Kai was open on Oregon, which was weird from Invictum, but they might have had some traumatic experience in the past, so I didn't want to be too judgmental of it. But regardless of that, congratulations on your win, KO. If there's not any other questions from you, Bob, then that would conclude this interview. If you don't have
Yeah, should be all. Yeah, we do just before we do end the stream, I'm assuming there's no more matches. Of course, you can join the Discord. Nightbot's putting it in the chat for you guys. It's free, doesn't hurt. And if you want to join the production team, maybe cast, maybe produce, observe, all that type of stuff, just join the Discord. Contact the moderator, any type of stuff like that, and you'll be getting yourself going. And it was quite, I didn't guess both of the matches, but it was interesting to say the least, especially that clutch from Laburnum. I still have it in the back of my head.
no, same. I do too. That was a clutch that Spliss shouldn't have won, but he amazingly won it just off of some really weird swings from Invictum. I'll say that. But that will conclude the stream for today. But before we get going, I do want to bring your guys' attention to the next match that happens tomorrow. It is going to be Praetorian versus a team that we haven't seen before, Mad D5, and it will have, you know, Trippin. I see a lot of people love Trippin and Talent League, and we love Trippin here too. So he's going to be the observer producer for that match. But the casters are also very important too. It's Rick and Morty and Uncooked on that match, covering it for your live feed. That will be all from me and Puffer Bob, and also from me and Tyrell today. It has been Talent League, and just stay talented. I don't like. Never mind. Just close the stream. That's it. That's done. That's done.
You